is The Public Interest. I am Malika Ramsey. Thank you very much for joining us. This week, I'm going to focus a bit on the People's National Congress reform, and the reason for focusing on the People's National Congress reform is because the party is currently in the state of preparedness. They're preparing for the upcoming Biennial Congress, and of course with me, leader of the People's National Congress reform, Brigadier the Honorable David Granger. Of course, he's the leader of the opposition too, but today we're talking as we're beginning with his portfolio as leader of the People's National Congress reform. Brigadier, as you prepare to celebrate and observe one of your party's biennial congresses, first off, how important are these congresses to the development and the growth of your party?
Well, Congress is supreme. It is the supreme institution of our party. It is an expression of the democratic character of our party. We have delegates from all 10 regions, and they come based on the party group structure, the regional structure. They come to the venue, which this year will be in Sapphire, and they discuss issues in their communities, issues affecting other party members who of course are not delegates, and their presence here is a reaffirmation of our democracy. That is how the party is run. It is run by the ordinary members, and this is very important to us, and that is why we've never failed to have a Congress.
All right. And presently, how are the preparations coming? Are there any glitches, any foreseeable upsets, maybe, if you want to call it that?
No, we have not had glitches. When we had the last Congress in 2012, the voting process was very slow because we used the old cardboard membership cards. And some of our party members are senior citizens, and they had to spend long lines in the queue. So we took a decision to have plastic cards, and these have been introduced. And we are confident that by the time Congress is ready, the cards will be fully distributed, but the process is going on now at present. That is the major glitch. We have had returns from all 10 regions, and the General Secretary himself is working literally day and night to ensure that the arrangements will be in place in time. There are several other committees looking after administration, logistics, and so on, and these are also working.
As we talk about your party, I want to link it to your partnership. That's a partnership for national unity. In the run-up to the 2011 general elections, when people heard about the formation of APNU, there were some sentiments in the public of people being a little bit tense, or even if you want to say afraid, or somewhat apprehensive about having a partnership. Thus far, would you say that the formation of the APNU would have either benefited or strengthened the People's National Congress reform in any way?
There is a mutual relationship. It has strengthened the reform, the PNC reform, because many of our members feel more confident that the partnership is more capable of going into government and taking office. There was some hesitation at first because persons who traditionally voted for the PNCR couldn't see the reason for change. They wanted their party to win, that's natural. But we were able to explain to them that winning in the old sense, the winner-takes-all concept, was now not relevant because we are building an inclusionary democracy, and we needed to ensure that all of the constituents are represented. We didn't want to shut anybody out, and that is why APNU has got 5 parties. It has the Guyana Action Party, which is based largely in regions 7, 8, and 9. The National Front Alliance, the Justice for All Party, the Working People's Alliance, and the People's National Congress Reform. So there has been some mutuality. The partnership has strengthened confidence in the party, and our party itself, being stronger, has been able to provide leadership for the partnership. So I am very happy with the outcome. Although there were apprehensions at first, I'm very happy with the outcome. We are very comfortable with our partners, and I think our partners are very comfortable with us.
Do you feel extremely challenged as the one person, because this may also be a first if after a very long time one person holding leader of the opposition, you're leader of the People's National Congress Reform, and also you're also, we don't call it leader, but you're also the head of a partnership for national unity. Do you feel challenged in any way?
No, I think it's a fortunate coincidence. now that I am holding all three posts, I believe it's a good thing because it provides a very high level of consistency in policy. I have to chair the shadow cabinet and I have to come to Parliament as leader of the opposition. I have to chair the Executive Council and the Leadership Council of the Partnership for National Unity. And of course, I have to lead the People's National Congress. So there is a level of consistency which could not have been provided were the three positions to be separated. Maybe in some future time we can look at the actual framework, but right now I think the ideal structure is for all three positions to be held, so that when we go to the National Assembly, we are representing the policy of APNU, but as party leader, I'm confident too that the policy of the PNC will be reflected in Parliament as well. So I'm very happy with the outcome.
All right. Going back now specifically to deal with the People's National Congress reform, what is the party's, of course I know it was not reform before, but what is the party's greatest achievement after 57 years of existence?
Well, our greatest achievement has been the impact we've had on the lives of ordinary people. And this is evidenced by the work we've been able to do in the National Assembly. For the first time in the last 22 years, I think the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration has been made more accountable. It has got to recognize, or it has started to recognize, although we are not satisfied that it is fully acknowledges the supremacy of Parliament. It fully acknowledges the autonomy of the National Assembly. I think we've made considerable progress. And if you look at the work of the partnership in the National Assembly over the last 30 months, you would see that we've consistently represented human interests. We've consistently represented transparency, and we've consistently held the People's Progressive Party administration to account. And I believe that is a major achievement of APNU. As far as the party is concerned, we continue to strengthen our group structure, our regional structure. We are present in all 10 regions, and we feel that we've been able to represent the interests of our constituents and give them the best possible leadership that we could. Although we only have 26 seats in the National Assembly, we have given them the best possible leadership they can expect. And we have catered to their needs, and we've used our influence in the National Assembly to provide a better life for them.
Brigadier, you've said time and time again that your party is a democratic one. Recently, however, your leadership team has somewhat been accused of not being democratic enough and not doing what you're supposed to be doing in terms of leadership and in terms of power. Are these sentiments coming because there is a Congress coming and there's a race to see who will be the leader of the PNCR? Or do you believe that you honestly have somewhat failed in terms of being a democratic party?
I don't think we failed. I think the very fact that they are contrarian voices is an expression of democracy, and we expect people to criticize, we expect people to have different views. It is well known that over recent months there has been an issue in the Upper Demerara Berbice region, Region 10, but this is an entirely party matter. It deals with two matters really. One is the attempt by the General Secretary of our party to gain access to the party property, and he's been denied access. And second is the authority of the Central Committee to appoint a coordinator. The coordinator is not an elected official. He or she cannot override elected officials. But in fact, in the case of Region 10, that coordinator has been appointed by the Central Executive Committee, not by one person, by the Central Executive Committee, in order to perform certain party tasks. So the two issues affecting Region 10 at present are whether or not the Chief Executive Officer of the party, that is to say the General Secretary, can have access to party property, that is the office. And second, whether the Central Executive Committee has the authority to appoint a coordinator to do party work. If those two are denied, well, I think that would be a denial of democracy.
How much damage, if any at all, can this incident that we're talking about here have in terms of whether you continue to get support from residents of Region 10? When I say you, I mean the PNCR.
I do not feel that the support of the residents in Region 10 is in any way seriously impaired. what we have is a group of persons who have opposed the appointment of a coordinator and who have made it very difficult for the General Secretary to get the key to the office. But this is not widespread. We are aware that there is a group which has said certain things, written certain things, behaved in a certain way. But the majority of members are aware of the party's record and reputation in that region and continue to support us.
Apart from this incident, as we move on now, is there a division in the People's National Congress reform?
Yeah, traditionally there have been divisions, but I believe after the last election, the 2011 election, even prior to the election during the campaign, there was a healing of those divisions. It is no secret that in the past, some party officials have left the party and they've tried to encourage party members to go with them. But we recovered, and if you look at the results between 2006-2011 elections, you'll see that there was a recovery. And I believe the days for division are over, the days for factionalism are over. And what we see happening in the party now, of course, is a natural, I would say, controversy rather than confrontation. People are not expected to agree totally with everything that takes place. And I think what is happening is natural, even normal. Although it might be unpleasant for some, we always expect controversy.
As you prepare for this Congress and these internal elections, are you confident that at the end of it, after July at the end of July into August, that Brigadier David Granger will remain the leader of the People's National Congress reform?
I'm working towards that because I believe that is the best outcome for the party, for the partnership, and for the country. Because I've been able to give leadership over the last 30 months to the partnership. Over the last 24 months, I've been able to give leadership to the party. And I think the country recognizes in APNU, in the PNCR, that given the weakness of the PPP, this is the best political organization, the best political formation to lead Guyana forward. And this is what we're working towards. We have given the country leadership when it is clear that the leadership of the PPP is faltering. We've given the country a clear sense of its destiny when it is clear that the PPP is leading the country into a quagmire, a financial quagmire, a criminal quagmire, a social quagmire. And it is the APNU that people are looking towards. So I am confident that at the end of Congress, people again will look to the PNC, will look to the APNU, and they will feel more confident that they can enjoy that good life.
In the final 60 seconds, as they look toward the PNC and to feel more confident, what exactly can the people, not only the supporters of the PNC, but Guyanese as a whole, expect from the PNCR in the next, let's say, 5 years, providing that David Granger is still the leader?
Well, I will look at first in the next 2 years, and we will ensure that between now and the time Guyana celebrates its 50th anniversary of independence in 2016, we provide a high quality of leadership in the National Assembly. We continue to hold the PPP to account. We ensure that there's a reduction in crime. We improve the quality of education and overall quality of life. That is what we're working for, and that's what we're going to do.
Thank you very much, sir. Leader of the People's National Congress Reform and, of course, Leader of the Opposition, Brigadier the Honorable David Granger. This has been another program of the public interest. I am Malika Ramsey, and, of course, we were discussing the upcoming Biennial Congress for the People's National Congress Reform. Join us again next time.